180 police officers have been funded by me over the last 3 years.
That was Mayor Curry yesterday after a campaign endorsement from the Chamber of Commerce.
I promise to make a safer community my top priority by adding 180 new cops for our streets and 225 more firefighters.
And that is Mayor Curry in a campaign ad. So we asked the mayor's office how many actual hires have been made with the money, your money, the mayor has approved. We were sent to the sheriff's office and we asked the following yesterday. How many of those positions have actually been hired? Do you know how many are actually on the streets? So we asked again today and we were told that information is not readily available. We were not given a time frame for when the sheriff's office can tell you how many officers have been added to the force in the last 2 years. Today, our Matt Head went to the city council to see if members had any answers.
We're going to continue to invest to do everything that we can to make this city a safe city.
Jacksonville Mayor Lenny Curry says more investment is needed to make the First Coast safer from violent crime.
People want more police officers. That's why we're funding it. 180 police officers have been funded by me over the last 3 years.
That wording caught our attention. It turns out we're not the only people wondering. How many officers have been hired?
We asked the undersheriff that, and the undersheriff said that they're filling, but they hadn't reached that level yet.
Jacksonville City Councilman Garret represents part of Northwest Jacksonville. He also serves on the City Council's Finance Committee.
We didn't want to be in the posture of not giving the sheriff what he needed in order to fight crime, but there's a doubt in our mind that he could not hire the police officer and get them trained enough.
Dennis says even more surprising, JSO telling us the information we requested isn't available after 24 hours.
They cut checks every 2 weeks, and so they know who they're paying. So they know how many checks that they're cutting for their employees, so they should be able to give you the number. That is pretty troubling.
Still, Curry says he funded an additional 180 officers, which isn't cheap. Police recruits receive a salary of $38,500. New police officers, over $40,500. An officer's salary tops out at $66,500. This does not include their overtime or their pension. Dennis says more prevention and intervention techniques are needed, combined with more officers on the streets.
I support our police officers, but again, we can't police our way out of this crime epidemic that we're having in our city.
In Northwest Jacksonville, I'm Matt Head, First Coast News on your side.
And our first request for information from JSO was filed at 11:30 Tuesday morning. We asked again this morning, respecting that the Office of Public Information is very busy. We asked if there was any other office in the Sheriff's Department which may be able to provide the information. We were told no. So we're going to ask every day until we get that answer, because that's what it means to be on your side.